A town peppered with the past.
This site is where we became Delaware, and we became the first state for 5 days. We were it.
A town proud of its present.
If you have not been in the area before, we'll be happy to tell you all the things to see and do.
And a town pumping out big plans for its future.
The best years for Dover are yet to come.
Today's adventure takes us to the capital of the first state, Dover.
My favorite part about being in downtown Dover is being in downtown Dover.
And for good reason.
It's walkable, it's business friendly, it's people friendly.
A downtown with a direction.
To make sure that downtown Dover is thriving.
And thriving it is.
The vibe in downtown Dover is so good right now.
From goods
Ocean Breeze is a nice fragrance.
to goodies.
We believe in rolling our own dough for the croissant and with French butter.
From swag
Think about it as being timeless, classic pieces that are unique.
to souvenirs.
To think that somebody's wearing a shirt with a Delaware design on it in China is very gratifying.
To the stories from people who call Dover home.
We made roots here.
We explore it all today in this Delmarva Life Small Town series, Dover.
Yeah, we have been looking forward to this show for so long. You have done so much work
Oh, it's been awesome.
on Dover.
I'm so excited that it's Dover Day.
Can't wait to see what you have to share with us. Katie's really sitting in for Lisa one more time today. It's wonderful to have you here.
So excited to be here.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Totally jazzed. Okay, but here's the thing about Dover.
Okay.
It is, of course, the capital of the first state. It's packed with history. Okay, so for instance, you probably know exactly when Delaware became the first state, right, Jimmy?
1787.
Correct. We were looking for a date, an exact date. So, good try. No, I'm just kidding. You're kind of right. So, there we go.
Kind of.
December 7th, 1787, when 13 delegates signed the Constitution in a tavern on the Greene in Dover, and that's why December 7th is known as Delaware Day.
Delaware Day.
Boom. But of course, I learned a lot more on my travels to Dover, so we thought it would be fun.
You're making me nervous now.
Yeah, you should be nervous. We're going to give you a little quiz.
A quiz?
A quiz,
I'm
yes.
getting a quiz.
So you're getting a quiz. It's going to be true or false. We
Okay.
got this guy going for us. So here you
Okay.
go.
All right, yeah,
Folks at
okay.
home, you guys play along too. Okay,
Help
so
me out here, would you?
You've got a 50-50 chance. So better than multiple choice.
Usually need more than that, but okay.
Right? All right, so here we go. True or false? You will not find a log cabin in Dover.
That's false. You will find a log cabin in Dover.
Ding!
I got one.
That's false. In fact, you will find the Swedish log house exhibit at the Delaware Agricultural Museum in Dover. Now, check this thing out. It's only one room. It's made up of white oak logs, no nails, by the way, just mud, oat holes, and grass. According to the museum, it was built in the late 17th or early 18th century and introduced by Swedish and Finnish colonists. Next, the Dover Air Force Base. We've all heard of it. We all know of its importance. But what do you really know about the Dover Air Force Base? Okay?
Okay.
True or false? The Dover Air Force Base has always had the same name.
Always the Dover Air Force Base.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's false. I know that's false.
Jimmy, you are just crushing this today.
Telling ya.
That is false. It was December 17th, 1941. Yes, just 10 days after the attack on Pearl Harbor, when what we know now as the Dover Air Force Base first opened as the Municipal Airport Dover Air Dome. After that, there were several base name changes, including the Dover Army Air Base, the Dover Sub Base, and the Dover Army Airfield. And in 1948, the base was renamed the Dover Air Force Base, and it's been called that ever since.
That's what it's been.
All right.
Okay.
You're doing well.
2 for 2.
I hope I can stump you at some point. All right. On to another behemoth in Dover, the Dover International Speedway.
Yes.
Okay. Particularly Miles the Monster. True or false? Crews constructed Miles on location at the Speedway in Dover to simplify the task of assembling and mounting him at Victory Plaza. What do you think?
True.
Let's see. The answer is false.
What?
I gotcha. In fact, Miles the Monster was quite an undertaking, but so worth it. Design team in Lancaster, Pennsylvania actually built Miles. Now, according to the Speedway's website, crews worked during the cold winter months and built him in their factory's driveway. Miles took 144 days to build, 6 flatbed trucks to transport, and then 1 day to reassemble in Dover.
Okay, I was thinking reassemble instead of, okay, all right.
It's okay. Two out of 3 ain't bad, as they say. You know? And I'm going to give you one more.
Okay.
Okay, so final question. True or false? Astronomer Annie Jump Cannon, born in Dover, came up with a classification system for stars that's still being used today.
I should know this one. I don't know this one. I'm going to guess on this one. False.
It's true. Oh! All right. Can I just say this woman right here is a rock star. Pun intended. Annie was born in 1863, and she developed a love for astronomy. That love grew, and it landed her in today's history books after she came up with a classification system involving hundreds, thousands of stars.
I should have known that.
Isn't that great?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's all from Dover.
That's right.
It's all from Dover.
And there's so much more.
So that's a Dover rock star from the past. How about we shine some light on some Dover stars in the present? Stars like Zariah Hathorn and her sister Haley Willard. They're making a difference around the world, and they call Dover home. They recently launched a book drive at South Dover Elementary, collected more than 6,000 books to help start a library in Africa. They also read bedtime stories via Facebook Live in an effort to make sure that no child goes to sleep without a story. Not only have Zariah and Haley joined us on Delmarva Live, but they've also been featured on The Rachel Ray Show.
Love it. Keep going, gals. All right, well, from one set of selfless sisters in Dover to another. Reagan and Peyton Garnsey are the founders of Buckets of Love. They spread the love by filling buckets with all sorts of fun things to provide sick children receiving medical care private to them. Now, they started distributing the buckets in Delaware, but their efforts have grown and they've now reached kiddos across the country.
What's some great kids? Tell you what, do you say we get more into the nitty-gritty of what makes Dover so delightful?
I say let's do it.
Let's do it.
I can tell you firsthand, downtown Dover is bursting at the seams with so much excitement, and much of it is thanks to the Downtown Dover Partnership. We'll explain how collaboration is key.
This is another collaboration that's clicking. Two best friends working together to make one booming business. We're going to dig up the details on My Roots and explain how just one visit can leave you feeling fantastic.
We're also learning about the direction leaders in Delaware have for downtown Dover. It's one that they're helping to fund thanks to an incredible rebate program. And in fact, the owner of House of Coffee took advantage of it. And now her downtown shop is thriving. We'll explain how others can get on board with the boost.
All that and so much more during this hour-long celebration of Dover as we take a look at the St. Jones watershed from Skycam 16. Delmarva Live will be right back.
The following segments in today's Delmarva Life Small Town series are brought to you by the City of Dover.
A look at downtown Dover. You might see it as a quaint little community, and that's true, it is, but others take it a step further. They see how special it is, and they're committed to helping it thrive.
Yeah, that's the mission of the Downtown Dover Partnership. It's a collaborative effort that encourages different types of development while honoring Dover's historic qualities.
When you look at downtown Dover, you can see it one of two ways. Option 1, notice each business individually. Option 2, view it as a group of businesses that form one collective unit. The objective of the Downtown Dover Partnership is the latter.
The goal of the Downtown Dover Partnership is to coalesce the forces and entities and agencies in the downtown to move toward common goals, common mission. We oversee some historical preservation, ensure that our downtown landscape and fabric remains true to its historic roots. And we have a mission to ensure that businesses, small businesses, are in good shape here.
Diane Laird is the partnership's executive director. She says the partnership began about 10 years ago. It evolved from what was then known as the Main Street program. It's volunteer-driven. Those volunteers make up 6 different committees. Each has a different focus that supports the collective undertaking.
The saying is that 2 can do more than 1, and 15 probably working in the same direction are going to do better than just 1 or 2 or 15 working independently.
The partnership keeps the city's events calendar bustling. One of the most exciting happenings is their First Fridays, which are merchant-driven social gatherings. They change a bit with each season, but the purpose remains the same.
Getting to know your neighbors, getting to know those people in your community. Having the merchants get to know you and know what is your style and what would you purchase. They get to know your style.
This is just one of many ways Dover residents are encouraged to shop local and support downtown. Merchants came together and just recently launched this promotional booklet with coupons, promotions, and information that'll have folks lining up at the door.
It's a nice book to really show the quality of downtown merchants, the variety of goods and services that we offer, and give people an extra reason to come and shop in downtown Dover.
And as downtown storefronts continue to be filled, folks will have even more of a reason. One way they're working to do that is Unlock the Block. That's a program that focuses on recruiting regional businesses for downtown or suggesting that those already there consider expansion.
We are really trying to make sure that we fill all of our storefronts. We want to be at a very low vacancy rate, and we've done a very good job with this first block, as you can see, and we're moving towards our west end so we can have a real seamless flow of shops, both service and restaurants as well as retail establishments.
Tina Bradbury is the partnership's operations manager. She sees what's special about downtown and wants others to, too.
This is that sense of place. You know, you really get a community feeling when you're here.
And that sense of community is then strengthened in simple yet effective ways. Seasonal window decorating contests, a farmer's market that doubles as Santa's house, to name just a few. Tina says this place shines especially bright on Small Business Saturday.
And most of the dollars that are spent when you shop locally stays right here in the community.
That event, of course, is in the near future. And when we talk about more of a distant future, Tina says she's focused on agritourism. Mayor Robin Christensen says Dover's future is bright because of its yes we can attitude.
A city that doesn't have a great heart is not a great city. And we have a great heart filled with businesses and entrepreneurs that have put in their blood, sweat, and tears to make their businesses grow downtown.
Neither Diane nor Tina can call Dover their hometown, but they've fallen in love with the place for more reasons than one.
I love downtown Dover because it depicts still the traditional downtown. It has the history, but it also merges into very current items for sale.
You get a sense of pride about what you're doing, you know, and this has become my home.
Deep roots, wide variety, family values. Oh yeah, and the support of passionate partners. A recipe for a downtown that's sure to keep on thriving for years to come.
Love their passion. Well, we just mentioned Small Business Saturday, and you're invited. The next one takes place Saturday, November 30th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. There is so much going on, from sidewalk sales to extended hours and more. And Jimmy, there are so many more events coming up, of course, in Dover. We could spend the rest of the hour going over them, including Ugly Sweater Thursdays and a Dickens Christmas. But we will have all those deets on our website, delmarvalife.com.
Celebrating the first state in apparel, art, and more. Our next destination is actually two that have become one.
That's right. The Delaware store and Park Greene galleries are housed in the same building in a location that's quite the landmark.
Two entities, one roof. Two product types, one subject. Two purposes, one mission. You'll find both the Delaware store and Park Greene galleries on South State Street in Dover.
The state of Delaware doesn't have a visitor center here, so we kind of serve that role.
Step inside first to the Delaware store. Pick out a perfect piece to show off your pride for the first state.
We sell all kinds of things. We have great apparel, we have gifts, we have souvenirs, of course.
Manager Thomas Smith says they also carry items made by local Delaware artisans. And if that isn't authentic enough for you, take a few steps over to Park Greene Galleries. Meet artist Norma Taylor Collins and walk away with a piece of local art that celebrates the history and heritage of this capital city community.
I'm really telling the story of Delaware, so you're really buying a piece of Delaware history.
And learning to see a story in art is a skill she believes everyone should have.
I always tell the little kids who come, if you can't be the artist, be the painting. And it really gives them an aesthetic that they can't get otherwise.
This site in Dover has huge historical significance. When you're here, you're in the place where Delaware became the first state back in 1787.
So you're literally standing where the country began, which is cool.
These two separate establishments come together to share seamlessly.
She paints all over the peninsula, and then that brings in people that are interested in Delaware art. And so then they come down to the Delaware store, and vice versa. It's true, people that come in looking for the souvenir for that perfect shirt, then they learn about the gallery and they go in there and learn about the beauty of the area.
A partnership that no doubt is so positive because of their passion for this place and its past and present.
And earlier in the show, we talked about Annie Jump Cannon, and inside the galleries, they have a room dedicated to her. So how cool is that?
That is very cool.
Right?
Man.
Yeah. Good stuff. And hey, speaking of trailblazing women, we're about to introduce you to a female fashionista bringing the past into your future.
Tina Hudson Beamer sees the value in vintage. Earlier this year, she opened Tina's Timeless Threads on Lockerman Street.
Jimmy's sensational style through clothes that have been around for a while.
Fashion flashback. The clothing that fills the racks at Tina's Timeless Threads in downtown Dover will propel you into the past.
I have items all the way from the 1800s all the way up to the 80s, and then I carry vintage-inspired pieces.
Tina Hudson Beamer opened the women's clothing boutique in June after having worked many years in retail management. She wanted her first business to be just that, hers. And so vintage venture it was.
My whole style, my whole life has been that way. My sisters used to make fun of me all the time. They would say that I wear old clothes. I never dressed like everybody else.
And so now she's taking trends of old and with them encouraging ladies to do something new. She gets this garb from all kinds of different places and wants more and more gals to give it a go.
Just try. Pick something that you normally would not wear and let's give it a try.
I asked Tina to pick out an outfit for me to try on. This one's from the 70s, 80s. What do you guys think?
Her pieces are stylish and sustainable. Oh, and heads up, they'll likely run a tad smaller. They've also got stories that she's more than happy to share.
If I get a piece that's from the 1970s and I have like idea if I know where it came from, as far as like the person that I got it from, or have a backstory to it, you know, I give that to my client.
Not only that, but she'll do her best to make this experience an extraordinary one, especially by encouraging people to exit their comfort zones.
They would always tell me, I would have never picked that out for myself.
A downtown Dover delight that honors the dress of older decades.
And Tina also keeps her retro theme by selling vinyl albums at the store as well.
Vinyl.
Vinyl.
Oh
yeah.
My goodness. So we're about to show you another stylish scene in downtown Dover, this one with connections to the past, but in a little different way. Lori Llewellyn is a small town girl who never really got into shopping malls, so she started My Roots for people like her.
And once her best friend got involved, it became a place where you could outfit yourself and walk out with a new do.
Planted in downtown Dover more than 2 years ago, My Roots is Lori Llewellyn's nostalgic nod to her northern upbringing.
What drew me to open this type of store was growing up in a small town in New Brunswick, Canada. We did not have shopping malls. We had little tiny stores and had to shop simple, and that's what I am trying to bring to My Roots.
A comfortable and quaint shop to find casual clothing that'll do nicely with denim.
So anything that goes with denim, you can find it here.
Graphic tees, sweaters, something to wear on a night out. She brings in brands both local and from elsewhere.
And we have a lot of people that come in and they walk in and they're like, I don't feel like I'm in Dover.
Take a few extra steps into the back of the store, and there you'll find just a bit more. This is the styling gallery run by Lori's best friend, Jessica.
Back here in our storage area, I did her roots and I shampooed her in our tiny little bathroom sink. And then the light bulb came on for us and we were like, oh, we should open a salon back here. And I wasn't ready to leave my kids. I still wanted to raise my kids and kind of work, and this just came open, so we opened it up and we're loving it.
The boutique's vibe flows seamlessly into the salon. It's all about you being at ease and enjoying your experience.
You just come here, and if you just want to work, you work. Or if you want to talk, you talk. And if you want to work and talk and have a glass of wine, you can. Or if you just want to have a cup of coffee and read a magazine, you can. I just want everybody to feel relaxed and at home here.
How perfect that the name My Roots suited the salon, too.
It just seemed like already a perfect fit of two friends wanting to share a business, and being able to share the name was even more special.
Jessica can do cuts, colors, waxes, updos, and the like. Patrons can truly leave this place trending from head to toe. And how could these two not feel so good every day? They're pals and partners.
It's just nice coming in to work every day and knowing that you have your best friend with you. It's awesome.
Oh, it's the best thing on earth. I mean, I feel like we have two heads going into everything, and it's just nice to kind of run something by her and to make sure we're doing the right thing together and just having fun together. It doesn't feel like work, and that's what makes it so special.
The entrepreneurship is also energized by the forward momentum going on in downtown Dover.
I'm trying to be part of making this a destination to come to. So the more places there are for people to go, the more people that are going to come down here. And it's been great being a part of this downtown Dover community.
These roots are certainly dug deep, and this pair plans to continue sowing seeds of style for years to come.
And hey, they've also they've got a small men's section too. Yeah.
Is it a small men's section or is it a small men's section?
I think either way, you're not
much luck.
When you travel through a town or city, you want to enjoy its distinct sights, sounds, and maybe even smells. Enter Suds & Company. I mean, it just makes sense. This is where you'll find soaps, body butters, and so much more.
Cocoa Carbon, Dragon's Blood, Raspberry Rose. I'm willing to bet there's a chance you haven't heard of at least one of these soap scents before. That's just the essence of Suds & Company in downtown Dover. Something a little bit different that you'll love a whole lot.
My soaps are all natural, handmade, no sulfates, no parabens.
Dana Smack has had her hand in the soap-making business for 8 years. She and her sister were tired of reading labels and not being able to pronounce the ingredients. So they started making their own soaps and skincare products. Dana opened up Suds & Company a year and a half ago. The boutique offers handmade soaps, body butters, skincare products, gifts, and accessories.
It's always something new every time I come in. They're excited. I think they are almost excited as I am.
She's got about 40 different scents, unique and some uncommon, but carefully considered.
I do have a coffee soap, which is actual coffee grounds in the soap, nice to exfoliate. That's a nice bar. I do have well, for the summer, when the summer's over now, but I had a camper soap. It was made with lemon, eucalyptus oil, and that helped repel bugs, mosquitoes, that type of thing. Ocean Breeze is a nice fragrance. Now it's getting colder, and if you want to still smell the beach air.
This is the most popular scent. It's called Ginger Lime. And I'll tell you, right now you're going to wish there was such a thing as smell-o-vision.
It's awesome. It's very refreshing, very fruity, but refreshing. And it's a unisex soap, so men and women like it alike.
Whether fruity or flowery in fragrance, Dana's products have moisturization mastered.
And so it's just a bunch of goodness in there to moisturize and protect your skin.
Nourishment as natural as it gets, an entrepreneur as inventive as they come.
And Dana says that doctors are even noticing some of her customers are having better skin. And Jimmy, I asked her if she wanted to, what her goals were for the future. She says she wants to expand, of course, grow a little bit, but also stay local.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
It's really important. Absolutely.
Very cool. Now, the cool continues in downtown Dover, but we're going to throw a little caffeine into the mix. Our next stop is the House of Coffee on Lockerman Plaza, where you'll find an owner who is passionate about people and her products.
It's everything you would expect from a downtown coffee shop, and just a little bit more.
We're becoming a destination, which is nice.
A destination that House of Coffee owner and operator Kristen Stonecipher pours her heart into, because for her, this shop is more than just a place where you can grab a good cup of joe.
We pride ourselves on having the best, freshest coffee and coffee drinks, but above and beyond that, we want to provide the customer who walks in here with a great day. And that is one of our taglines. We sell the best coffee, and we also make the customer's day.
Kristen and her team do that in a number of ways. First, cue the coffee.
So our specialty coffees are obviously our espresso drinks. These are lattes, cappuccinos, macchiatos, and we are certainly known for having the best espresso around.
And along with the coffee, there's also a strong sense of community.
We certainly have some customers who run in, grab their coffee, or call ahead and come in, pick their coffee up, and run with it. But then we probably have about half of those customers who come in, enjoy our free Wi-Fi, our lounging space.
And just like the community supports Kristen, Kristen supports the community. Just take a look around House of Coffee and you'll see.
We love the arts, and we try to support the arts in all different capacities. You'll see a lot of handmade crafts, a slew of paintings.
Throw all the factors into the mix, top it off with Kristen's love for her location.
I love it down here. It is absolutely beautiful, and I oftentimes mention this town as having good bones.
Unbreakable bones with coffee and community at the core.
Now add to all of that the locally baked goods you'll find at the House of Coffee: bagels, muffins, croissants, donuts, and get this, you know, it's spelled coffee, C-O-F-F-I.
Yeah, what's that all about?
The reason it's spelled C-O-F-F-I, Kristen is Welsh. That's how they spell coffee in Wales.
Unbelievable.
C-O-F-F-I, isn't that something?
That's awesome. Well, you know what Kristen says solidified her decision to start her business? That is the Downtown Development District's rebate program. It's a program that's actually done a lot to revamp downtown Dover. And hey, if you have a project in mind, the program might be able to propel it into existence too, as we hear from 102.5 WBOC's Corey Phoebus.
Take a look at downtown Dover, the buildings that house the city's rich history. Bustling businesses and properties full of potential. Potential that now has possibility thanks to the Downtown Development District's rebate program.
Which is bringing incentives from the state, the local jurisdiction to encourage and stimulate private investment within our downtown.
Anas Benati is the director of the Delaware State Housing Authority, which is the driving force behind this program. He says one of the main incentives is rebates. Up to 20% is available for capital improvements that will breathe life back into Delaware.
To help our downtowns to go back to their past glory, where people didn't just come to work, but they worked, shopped, dined, and have fun within our downtowns.
Dover's downtown was one of the first in the state to be designated a downtown development district. Fitting, right? Other cities include Seaford, Smyrna, Milford, Harrington, Georgetown, and Laurel.
So once the jurisdiction receives the designation, it's valid for 10 years.
Anyone with an idea can apply.
It's a really worthwhile for the homeowner who is replacing a roof, all the way up to investors who are investing millions of dollars to look at the downtown development rebates.
And the rebates are available for both large and smaller projects.
The round of application for large projects, when we describe large projects as anything more than $350,000 worth of investment, is open right now for a couple of months. For smaller investments, which are less than $350,000, it's an open round. It's first come, first serve. We have about $2 million that's available right now.
And people are jumping on this opportunity.
When you look at the 167 project that we have funded, it's almost half-half, 77 to 90 worth of small versus large investment.
For those who have taken advantage of this program, such as Kristen Stonecipher from House of Coffee, it's paid off. But take a closer look around the city and you'll see other projects that are thriving thanks to this initiative.
Here in Dover, we have invested about $2 million worth of rebates. It has leveraged about $14 million worth of investments. And it has varied from housing projects down in Kirkwood, Mary, and Queen Streets to a 3-story office space to some of the eerie places like Gray Fox.
It's easy to understand the excitement surrounding this program. It's a program that's working thanks to dedicated teams coming together with one goal in mind.
To make sure that downtown Dover is thriving.
Revamping, reigniting, and restoring downtown Dover one powerful project at a time.
Now, there's a lot of information packed into this program. We've linked its website to delmarvalife.com to make it easy for you to check out deadlines, eligibility guidelines, or maybe you just want to read up on some of the projects that have already received rebates.
That's pretty remarkable. That's
absolutely
amazing right there.
With the holidays inching closer, are you still picking out the perfect present for a particular person? You can do that in downtown Dover too. In fact, folks have found favor at Forney's too since 1985. Forney's 2 is a gift shop in downtown Dover whose owner truly gets it.
And it really occurred to me one day that I facilitate giving, and I think that's a good thing. Somebody comes in looking for something for mom, I help them do that. And that's not a bad mission to be on, I don't think.
Gary Knox has been on the mission for 34 years, first as the manager of Forney's 2, and now as the owner. Not only does he sell everything from jewelry to greeting cards to home decor, he produces some of it too.
It's really nice because it's uniquely mine, uniquely Forney's 2, and you can't get it online anywhere.
Gary says some of the best-selling items are shirts like this, celebrating Delaware. I mean, who doesn't love a good long-sleeve shirt or a t-shirt? And he designed them himself.
They've gone to Brazil, there's even gone to China, and to think that somebody's wearing a shirt with a Delaware design on it in China is very gratifying.
They're printed locally too. Gary loves serving customers just as much as he loves creating for them.
It's that hometown experience.
Of course, if you're the type that just wants to survey the spots solo, go for it.
There's a nook here, there's a nook over there, we have shelves everywhere. It's fun to explore.
Mugs, hats, signs, whatever you find, count on one overarching similarity.
The litmus test is quality. It's got to be good quality.
It's a test they've yet to fail in more than 3 decades, and one they're determined to keep on passing in the decades to come.
Really wanted to keep that shirt. Gary says he's seen people through the generations. Jimmy?
I'll bet he has. Now the story of a team that approaches projects with a bring-it-on attitude, and it's taken off. Think of Mountain Consulting as a company that dabbles into a little bit of everything, fueled by a desire to just make a difference, as we hear from 102.5 WBOC's Corey Phoebus.
What started out as a way to earn a little extra income has evolved into something Kim and Troy Adams call a lifelong dream of helping the community.
We're super excited about the growth that we've had. It's just been explosive.
Kim and Troy founded Mountain Consulting in 2003. Troy describes it as an engineering and construction company, one where they approach every project and every client with an open mind.
So when a project comes available, we assess the situation. And if we believe that we can do it and be successful at it, we go for it.
And if they don't, they'll find someone who can.
So if there's an item or a specific facet of the project that I just do not have the expertise or no one of my staff is qualified to do, then we go find the most fair and reasonable qualified subcontractor to work with us.
Some of Mountain Consulting's past projects include stream restoration, bridge repairs, even pavement improvements. The range of what they do is extensive.
A lot of our projects locally are residential. We have a large design build project for a local church.
Troy says he and his team pride themselves on building relationships in the community, particularly in Dover.
We've come to really love Dover. We're investing into Dover monetarily. I mean, we made roots here. We work intimately and close with all of our clients. Basically, we like to see their vision and deliver that vision, you know, the way that they would like it. It's good to see a client really happy about the end product.
And once they cross that finish line, it's on to the next project, one that you can trust will be approached with the same care and commitment to quality.
We're determined, we don't give up, and we persevere. And we've been able to develop a good company name.
A name that has earned respect and trust thanks to the tenacity of its team.
They don't give up. And just recently, Troy announced Mountain Consulting was named a Small Business of the Year.
All right, Jimmy, question. Did you know that there's a set of doors in Dover that if you step through, you basically transported to France?
No.
It's true. So grab your passport, pack your baguettes, because we are off to La Baguette Bakery and Catering.
Bonjour. Welcome to Dover's Little Piece of France. La Baguette Bakery and Catering will take your taste buds on a journey around the globe.
I want them to know what is French food.
Ludovic and Anita Bezzi opened this Dover destination more than 2.5 years ago, wanting to share a piece of the country they love with an Eastern Shore crowd. Ludovic was born and raised in France, and Anita is part French.
We want a French feel, and people, when they come in, they genuinely think that they feel like they're in France.
They've got authentic soups, salads, and specialty sandwiches. You'll even find something if you're gluten-free. And fix your eyes on this pastry case, which will no doubt make you say, oui, oui.
Chef said people love the eclairs, and I just learned today that they're not pronounced eclairs. I'm gonna give it a try. So good.
The croissant is a big thing because we believe in rolling our own dough for the croissant and with French butter and good flour.
They'll do catering of all kinds, too. And though you might think these sweet and savory selections are shipped over from somewhere near the Eiffel Tower, truth is, everything is made right here in-house.
What's really cool is when someone walks in and they order something and they eat it on the spot, and you see their huge smile on their face when they realize that that pastry or their bread tastes just like it does in France.
I want it to be the best French bakery in the country.
And so Ludovic arrives here each day before most of the world wakes up. He works tirelessly, never failing to honor tradition. And Anita never fails to honor his passion.
What it means to me is that I'm helping my husband fulfill his dream.
For me, it's being able to replicate something I used to eat in France before I started in the field, before I became a chef.
And what it means for folks in and around Dover is an eating experience from across the Atlantic that they'll enjoy here at home.
Do you want everything?
Everything.
Yeah, and they said that their goal for the future is to keep growing and get more catering clients.
And I'll bet they will. There is so much packed into Dover.
Jimmy, I actually have one more question for you.
Really?
It's a quiz.
Okay.
True or false? You had fun on the Dover Show.
True.
Hey!
I had fun.
That's awesome.
We have covered a lot on our tour of Dover today. If you missed any of it or you just want to see it again, download the WBOC News app, or you can go to delmarvalife.com.
Right now, we're headed down the hall to the Newsplex for WBOC News at 6. Have a great weekend.